What do you want to get?
Ice cream.
Chocolate?
Yeah.
Let's go, honey.
Together, we can find a child by signing up for free wireless Amber Alerts on your cell phone.
Spend Christmas in the Serengeti and New Year's Eve in Zanzibar. Start 2024 off right with an incredible trip to Tanzania. Thanks to visittanzania4less.com's holiday special, you can celebrate the new year in the most extraordinary way. This 9-day adventure takes you on a journey through the stunning landscapes of Tanzania, from the infamous plains of the Serengeti to the spectacular crater tour, and the picturesque beaches of Zanzibar. Top off your New Year's Eve with an unforgettable party and conclude your trip with a captivating exploration of East Africa's largest city, Dar es Salaam. Worried about budget constraints? Well, a Butterfly Travel, our preferred travel agency in the USA, can help finance this once-in-a-lifetime journey. Just dial 8444235983 to find out more. Make your dreams a reality and start 2024 on a high note with a unique Tanzanian experience. If not now, then when? Call iButterfly Travel Experience today at 8444235983 or email us at visittanzania4less@gmail.com. Check out our affordable options for your dream trip to Tanzania and Zanzibar at visittanzania4less.com. Reserve your dream vacation today with a 30% deposit. Spend Christmas in the Serengeti and New Year's Eve on the beautiful island of Zanzibar.
All right, family. We want to bring in our guest for today, DJ the Money Coach, the Money Man, the Bag Man. Been helping folks with their credit scores, been helping folks with their financials. We are honored to have on the show today, DJ the Money Coach, fresh back from Zanzibar. How's my brother doing today? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, PA. I appreciate the privilege and the honor to be on your amazing show.
Man, I like the background. Got the Zanzibar up there in the background. Got the ABCs of wealth in the background, and it's been an amazing journey for you as a person, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I've been blessed. I have no complaints. As my father and grandfather told me, any day above ground with health is a great day. So I am excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about having a chance to finally meet you in person, and excited about having a chance to tell our story on this amazing broadcast, Jams with PA.
There you go. There you go. Now, DJ, I like the shirt, first of all. Take a bite out of Zanzibar. Buy, invest, travel exclusively with DJ the Money Coach. I like that, man. I know this is not part of our script, but what? Tell my family about that, man.
Well, I mean, like yourself, you know, you do amazing safari and trips down to Zanzibar. Zanzibar has always been a bucket list trip for me for the last 10 years, and having a lineage that goes back to Cape Verde, I actually had the privilege and honor to have a good partner of mine give me an opportunity to take a trip to Zanzibar about 3 years ago. And just out of a whim, last minute, they called me up. I think it was like December 27th of 2020 or something like that, and said, hey, I'm about to take this trip to Zanzibar. We talked about last few years, and there's only a couple of seats left, and it's an $800 deposit. I know you want only 2 people got the money and the time to go. So I said, hey, no problem. I paid for the trip. I was so excited, PA, that I called up my older sister, and I said, hey, Tish, I'm going to Zanzibar. And I said, guess what? She said, what? I said, I'm taking you with me. You just got to pack your bags. I'm paying for everything. And she was like, cool, that's awesome. Then she started laughing. I said, what's so funny? She said, matter of fact, RJ is down in Zanzibar right as we speak. So RJ is a family friend about 20 something years. And so I hop on WhatsApp, and sure enough, RJ is on the beach drinking some exotic drink in Zanzibar. And I'm like, hey man, what you doing down in Zanzibar? He said, man, I'm just hanging out, having a good time. And from there, he told me that he had been down there for about 3 weeks and told me he had bought some property there. And I said, what? You bought some property? I said, man, I'm coming there. I would like to buy some property too. So that's basically how Zanzibar came on the radar. I actually went down to Zanzibar, fell in love with it. And then I decided to build a luxury residential resort. And that resort is about to open up January 12th of 2024. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go, brother. Amazing story. Your resort is off the water?
Yeah. It's right there in Paje.
Wow.
Yep, 220 unit luxury residential resort that'll be opening on Martin Luther King's birthday, January 12th, January 15th. We have a 4-city tour that's going to commence the grand opening. We starting out with a leg of a college entrepreneur tour on September 23rd with Dame Dash. And then we're going to roll over to Atlanta, do something at Morris Brown, historically Black college and university. And then in the first week of December, we're going to roll down to Florida Memorial and do the third leg of the tour. And then we're going to have the grand opening inaugural celebration on January 12th at Zanzibar at our luxury residential resort. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that. DJ the Money Coach is in the building. Wow, a lot to talk about. Your journey, you dealt with stocks. You've been into the stocks for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been a financial advisor, a chartered senior financial planner, and a certified estate advisor since 2002. I started a boutique practice in 2002 of December and have been teaching stocks, financial education to churches, businesses, credit unions across the country for the past 21 years. And I've had the pleasure, PA, of sitting down with over 45,000 people individually. And I've spoken across a multitude of platforms, including with Chase Bank, over hundreds of thousands of folks, and have helped a lot of people become consumer debt free, pay off their homes in 7 to 10 years, and start businesses and create multi-generational, 6-figure incomes for them and their family.
Well, you've been helping people, first of all, get their credit score, right? Get the 800 credit score.
Yeah, we actually teach them the principles of credit. Now, let me, full disclaimer, I'm not a credit expert. I know how credit works, but I actually have created a program called the 7 Spheres of Money. And what that actually does, PA, just to give people a quick backdrop, in 2002, I created this system called the 7 Spheres of Money. So I actually go out to Fortune 1000 companies and partner with them, accounting firms, insurance, banking, financial planning, real estate, estate planning, and legal. So I actually have a department that actually does personal credit and real business credit when you underwrite commercial loans. So I had a 525 credit score coming out of college and $60,000 worth of consumable debt. And I did not know that. So I actually tried to buy my first house, even though I was a professional income earner in the accounting field. I got turned down for a mortgage. Didn't really get too discouraged about that. I wasn't happy. But then the real thing that hit home with me is about 5 years later, when I started my first, entrepreneur business, I got turned down for a small business loan, even though I've been banking with the bank for several years and I had 6 figures in the bank. And I basically, at that point, I was defeated then. And I just asked them, I said, why am I being turned down? They said, well, I don't know if you know, you got bad credit. I said, I got bad credit. I said, how is that possible? They said, your overall credit score is 525 and you have $60,000 worth of consumable debt. So I said, at that point, I said, I have to make a change. I didn't play the victim role, which generally happens in our community. I read a book, actually read a chapter in Susie Orman's book called The Road to Wealth. I had purchased it off her PBS special, and it told me about the 5 quadrants of personal credit. I got my personal credit on point, and from 1998 to 2000, my credit score rose from 525 to 800, and that's in the analog world. A lot of people think that it's so easy to get credit repairs and stuff. I didn't do credit repair. I actually did the process and the principles of getting proper credit. Didn't do no trading credit lines, all that BS. I did it the proper way. I paid down my debt. I, reduced my consumable habits and I started increasing my assets. And upon doing that, I got myself to an 800. And in the process, PA, my mother had been a victim of predatory lending back in 1995. And around 98, my mother was a victim of identity theft. So I helped my mother get out of her situation. And then I created a program for my church called Faith, Love, and Money and started teaching them the principles of financial education. So my core business is actually teaching financial education, 136 principles of success. And part of one of those principles is personal credit. So in our curriculum, we actually have an actual booklet and course that actually, just like an encyclopedia, just like Susie Orman taught me, you can go to a specific, topic and learn about that and try to learn about the whole, mass of finances. Just work on the thing you have a challenge with and then get on to the other things and then get yourself some help. So that's what I was able to do. And in the process of doing that, I figured out one thing. I saw a special on 2020 at the time, and I thought I was the only one having these major, challenges with personal finance. But they had an interview. They had doctors, lawyers, engineers. They had the same problem I had. And what the number one thing was, these people had an embarrassment because they had master of educations, but they didn't know anything about finance. And these people at the time had $150,000 worth of consumable debt. And they were living in quiet desperation because they didn't want anybody to know about it. And then that's when the light bulb came on for me, PA. I said, if they're having a problem, I'm having a problem. This is going across the country. No matter what you look like, it's a professional middle-class problem. And then I created my system, and it became the number one system in the country, because here's the difference is that they don't want to work with people who are just getting into the financial service business. They want to work with the UBS. They want to work with the Merrill Lynch. They want to work with those type of companies. But if you don't have liquidable assets of $1 million and you don't have an accredited investor established, they're not going to work with you. So that leaves them in a catch-22. So I created a system where they can come in, work with professionals, get their stuff taken care of, and then go to the next level. That's basically what my expertise is. And in the process, I manage millions of dollars doing that.
Wow. On your website, when you go to your website, DJ the Money Coach, how to get out of debt in 30 days. Is that real, man?
Absolutely. Let me tell you this. It's the foundation. Just like I said, I had a 525 credit score, $60,000 worth of debt. But once I learned the principles in 30 days of how to budget, manage money, and invest the proper way, I was able to get myself completely out of $60,000 worth of debt in just 2 years. But I built that foundation in 30 days with the habits, the principle, and accountability. So see, a lot of people don't realize if you got $100,000 worth of debt, there's habits that led to that debt. And those habits happen within 30 days. So what we do is we actually take those habits and redirect them. First thing we do, PA, we put you on the budget, because a lot of people that have middle-class income or even working class income, they spend money carelessly, because if I go get a bottle of water, it's just a bottle of water, but most people, they'll get, Fiji, they'll get all that expensive water. It's just water. Let's be real about it. But if I spend $1 a day and I do that 30 times a month, that's $30. But let me bring it even more home to you. If you're single and you go out and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at restaurants, fast food places, you're spending $30, $60 a day. It's no big deal because you make $60, $70, $100,000. It's no big deal once a day. But when you look at it over 30 days, man, that's $1,200.
Yeah.
And guess what? In 2006, the average person that filed bankruptcy owed less than $5,000 on a personal credit card.
Wow. We got a question.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's something, man. My co-host, Big Rob, who couldn't get in, he couldn't get online, but he said, how can I get his book? How can people get your book?
You can actually go on my website and purchase the book, The ABCs of Wealth. And you can actually get a hard copy or a digital copy that can be downloaded in 10 seconds.
Now, DJ, you've also been helping people earn money, not just $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, but over $8,000 a month. You've been helping people earn money. What's the secret, man? There ain't no PPP stuff going on. There ain't no PPP.
No, man, I don't do that, brother. You can't be in business like yourself, PA, for 20 years and have corporate partners like Chase Bank. You can't be in business for 20 years and have corporate partners like the regional, Montgomery Airport, where I did all their financial education. You can't be in business for 20 years and do most of the YMCA's financial education for the directors as well. So I've also worked with the state of Illinois Attorney General's prosecutor's office. So getting to that. So once we get a person on a budget, once we do that, we give them a little survey, PA, that's 10 questions that are typical questions that once I sat down with the 10,000 person, I realized everybody had the same problems economically of building wealth. Once we do that, we take their assets, make sure they pay off their debt, set them up with a program to pay off their home in 7 to 10 years, and then we put them on Roth IRAs, self-employment pension plans, 401ks, and then we say, look, you have a skill set. Why don't you take that skill set and transfer it into entrepreneurship, which we're experts at? And how you do that is, number one, you create a business from that skill set, and you do it based on what's called the hedgehog concept. There's a book called Good to Great written by Jim Collins, who used to be a provost at Stanford University. This came out in 1996, 97. He says like a three-legged stool. Number one, you have to have a skill set or a passion, preferably a skill set that you can master. Number two, you have to have a niche that you can drill down to in a saturated market. And number three, you have to have an economic bus, PA, to bring people in front of you to actually monetize your skills in that market. So let me give you an example of what my hedgehog concept has been for 21 years. It's been middle class financial education and building businesses. How do I do that? I focus on people who make a professional income single, $50,000 an individual, to married or significant others of $250,000, net worth from 0 to 500,000. Once I stay in that market, I am the expert because nobody else will provide those services. So now that person gets out of debt, start a saving plan. I now show them a program that's called the 3 Steps to Success that I created in 2008. And people ask me, PA, why do you keep these old brochures? It's receipts, baby, just receipts. So the 3 Steps to Success, I will take a person like you, and you have a skill set of travel and safaris. And if you didn't master it, I will show you how to master it. I say, first thing we do, PA, let's start the business. Second thing, let's find the niche inside the business that nobody else is doing, which you have done with your safaris attached into Zanzibar. Now, how do we get people in front of you? You know what you do? You invite them onto these awesome shows, Jam with PA, and then you explain your expertise. So I teach them how to create a business, take that top dollar from the business and buy real estate. Listen to me, buy real estate. Don't take that profit and do something else with it. Invest in solid real estate. And then the trick to success, PA, and you know this, is leveraging the tax laws, because the wealthy people, they get an inordinate amount of tax write-offs through proper corporate entity structure, where it's not about the revenues they make, it's about the tax advantages that they create to actually invest more money. And once I show people how to do that, we help them make $8,333 a month in passive income through 7 different assets. First asset is buying residential real estate. And I tell people, PA, if you make at least a positive $200 a month in net passive income, you're on your way to super success in 2 to 5 years. Once they do that, it's like playing Monopoly, man. How many of us have played Monopoly? I started playing Monopoly when I was 5 years of age. Right. What's the secret to Monopoly? Getting a whole block, getting the utilities, getting motels on those 3 little properties. A lot of people think, PA, if I get Boardwalk and Park Place, I win. No, man, let me get Illinois, Kentucky, New York. Let me, center a whole block. So once you get the residential property, PA, you then look at mobile homes. Then once you look at mobile homes, you look at duplexes, you look at, fourplexes. Then you upgrade yourself through 1021 exchange and you get yourself apartment buildings. And while you're doing that, you make sure you have the proper corporate entity, which there's only 8 corporate entity structures that the IRS recognizes. And unfortunately, in our community, a lot of us by default, because it's trendy, they do LLCs versus doing corporations versus doing S corporations, have superior tax advantages and have the same protection. So since I have an accounting background, I explain that to them, and I have my Fortune 1000 accounting practice, tell them the proper corporate structure. So once they do that, they get themselves in position, start building up over 2 to 5 years, $8,333 a month in passive income. And in the same process, PA, we pay off all their consumer debt. We help them pay off their house, and the magic to $8,333 a month, that's $100,000 a year. I have not met anybody, even in today's economy, that have their house paid off, no consumer debt, that can't live comfortably at professional middle class with $8,333 a month And if we adjust it for inflation for the East Coast and the West Coast, it's about $10,000. And that's a proven scientific analytical fact, my brother.
So you just answered my question, how you can pay off your home quickly within 7 to 10 years. Basically, with that format you just put up, that's how you pay it off.
Exactly.
It's simple. Do you want people? Should people call you, or should they just go to the website? What's the best way to connect with DJ the Money Coach?
You know what, PA? We don't take anything for granted. I understand that there's people that still use the 800 number, so we give them all different mediums. The ones who like to go on the internet, they can go to djthemoneycoach.com. The ones who are old school, who really still want to hear somebody on the phone, they can call us at 866-395-3042, 866-395-3042. And the millennials, they can just at me at DJ the Money Coach on IG. They can at me on YouTube at DJ the Money Coach. So I've learned that communicate to people the way they like to be communicated, and make sure you have all the options available for them, PA.
We live with DJ the Money Coach. If you got a question, type your question in.
Absolutely.
You can call into the radio station. He also does his own media thing too. So he got his own media channel going on. He's educating people all the time. Zanzibar, man, how can people invest with your company on this real estate deals that you got going on? How can people get involved with that? Because I got a brother who just left Zanzibar like last week, just bought a resort there at a dirt cheap rate, like unbelievable.
You know what? That's a great question. So here's the first thing that we do. We have to qualify them, PA, because here's where a lot of people get in trouble, is that they have money, but they don't have financial education. Unlike your partner, I'm sure he was very successful in money and had a high level of education. Most time people think because you make $1 million, $2 million a year, you really know how money works. Most of those people who are athletes, entertainers, have no grasp of basic finances. So the first thing we do to protect them, based on the Security Exchange Commission, we actually take them through a financial analysis. They contact us first, PA, one of those mediums, right? The toll-free number, the website, the IG. After they do that, we present them with a basic survey. They answer the survey. We find out what their demographic is. We ask them 4 basic questions, PA. What's your income? Are you 0 to 25, 25 to 50K, 75K to 100, 100K plus? Then we ask them basically, do you own, real estate? Do you own personal real estate? Do you own investment real estate? Do you know if you want a passive, return, or you want, income capital gain? So we ask these basic questions. And once they do that, we then initiate a presentation to show them how Zanzibar came together, because the Zanzibar project that I own, it's a 220 unit luxury residential resort, and it's multiple millions that we invested. So we make sure they're protected, because if they're not an accredited investor, which is somebody, again, who's made $200,000 a year for 3 consecutive years based on their tax returns, and outside their house and their car, they have liquidable assets of $1.5 million. If they're not a sophisticated investor, they don't have any liability because they take the risk. But most of the people that we come in contact are not one of those two. So we actually give them a risk tolerance questionnaire for them to fill out. It takes 5 minutes to fill it out. Once they do that, PA, now we do the presentation. Then we show them how to get on boarded with us, and they can invest at that point anything as little as 5K up to 100K. But we take them through that process first, because that way they're protected, we're protected. And like my dad told me, he said, hey, man, don't sell or market anybody anything until you eat your own dog food and it's tried and true. That's the first thing that we do.
Got a question from my co-host, Tahir RBG. How is land development opportunities in Tanzania, far as developing land with utilities for building?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Right now, Tahir, we actually are developing another project that we just bought 2.5 acres of land in Zanzibar. And we actually are doing it with a civil engineer company that's actually 2nd generation Black Africans out of Dar es Salaam. And we actually have the legal team, we have the business team, and we actually take you through the process. I actually have a video showing the actual acquisition. I think we might have sent it to you, PA. It's called the Historical Zanzibar Purchase. If you check the email from Kadera, we actually want to show people, and actually we can help this person go through that process. So I help do those services for professionals.
Here's the second question. Is it profitable?
All right. You go throw up. You ain't going to believe these numbers, but check this out, PA and Tahir. July 24th, on the video that you have that you can show, We purchased a half an acre of land for less than $20,000. We are right now building 4 duplexes on that land that are selling for $180K, and we sold 3 out of the 4 in less than 3 weeks. You tell me if it's profitable. And I got the facts to prove it. So if PA, if you got that video from Kadera, you should show it to him, because
I gotta go back. Yeah, I got it on WhatsApp, man. So
I'm in the show me business, like the state of Missouri.
Right.
I don't tell you.
We got a lot of messages. We got a lot of messages here, man. So
so
have you back when we show the video. It would be the receipts. It'll be the receipts interview. We don't show nothing but receipts. But they know if you're on our show, you're the real deal anyway. But I do want to show the video though, because
you know they're not gonna believe us. So we actually show you. We purchased this land, PA, in 3 days, and I paid for it cash right on the spot. And there's a process in Zanzibar. And here's a question I always ask people, and this is specifically to your brother Tahir, and hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Yes.
First question you should ask anybody that's trying to sell or market you something. One question: do you have equity and ownership in what you're marketing and selling to me? Do you have equity and ownership? Because when you met me, PA, that's the first thing you asked. You said, "Hey man, where you located at? You own some stuff in Zanzibar, DJ?" I said, "You're absolutely right, my brother." And why is that important? If I'm going to be transparent and I tell you I'm just a consultant trying to maintain my lifestyle, then I'm most likely not going to work with you. Nothing personal, but if you don't own nothing, you can't take the same risk or the same pain that I feel. But if you own it, it's relative, because everybody's happy, PA and Tahir, when we making money. But they don't understand, as an entrepreneur, you ain't going to make money and win in everything you endeavor.
Right.
So we have equity and ownership.
Investment into Africa in comparison to investment into America. What is the risk factor with that?
Well, the first risk factor is ignorance. What do I mean by that, PA? You know, what is the propaganda that America and the other part of the world has said against Africa? They tell you it's unsafe, you get sick, it's dangerous. That's the ignorance that they keep. But when you go over there, who do you see? Nothing but Europeans taking up everything. Europeans, Chinese, Japanese, Italians, Portuguese.
With our women too.
Exactly. So the first risk is your lack of education, getting it from the real facts. That's risk number one. Number two, not having the right governmental relationships. So here's what we never do. In my 21 years in business, I'm sure you can attest to this too, PA. I never do business in any city, state, county that I don't have a solid relationship with.
Exactly. Yes.
So remember, I told you my partner, 20-something years, family friend, RJ, he was already down there, already bought property. So guess what? He already laid the foundation to create the relationships for me to tap into the government relationships.
Exactly.
So we were able to tap into the government at the highest level because we showed them we can add value to their economy. So we will facilitate that for anybody on your show watching us. We actually have a program to help take people to get residency on the personal side and on the corporate side. I'm actually finishing the process personally myself right now. Again, I'm not going to offer you my dog food till I eat it myself. So that's the second thing, the government relationship. The third thing is you have to have liquid capital, baby. Liquid capital, because nobody is going to give you a loan to invest in Africa unless you have established relationships in Africa, ladies and gentlemen. So all these people telling you on YouTube and IG, man, I can get you hooked up and buy. All they doing is getting a commission. All you have to do is ask them, hey, mister, what's your equity and ownership here in Africa? Show me the property you own. Show me the business you own. Don't show me the property you showing me that you're getting a commission on. Show me what you actually own. See, I can actually show people deeds to actual property. Because once you show that video, I'm going to give them a glimpse of the deed to the actual property. That's the difference. So once we facilitated those relationships with the government, which we'll do for you, whoever watching and listening to this, we'll take you through the process and put you in the proper hands. And you have to have the ability to hedge the risk. You can't use money that if the deal doesn't work the way you expect it to work or come in on time, it doesn't affect your personal household. We will never work with anybody that are trying to invest with their last means. You have to have discretionable income to order to work with us on these type of projects.
Wow.
That's facts.
DJ the Money Coach is in the building, man. This time is flying. I said it was going to be 20 minutes. We had 30 minutes. And I haven't even got to the part, the reason why I invited you on the show.
My
Talk
bad.
about Damon Dash. Okay, one last question, then we're going to get into the conversation about Damon Dash and that relationship and what you guys are doing. Insurance, is there a method to buying insurance?
Man, that's the greatest question, PA, because insurance is the biggest proponent and component to your livelihood. And most insurance agents don't know this. And I'm glad you asked me that question because, again, proof in the pudding, baby. Check it out. I am a licensed agent. I have home, auto, life, personal life insurance, but I don't write policies, PA. I am actually an advocate for our people. I just give them the right resource. So here's how you buy insurance. I want you to write this down, ladies and gentlemen. If you go buy a gallon of gas, that's a unit of measurement, right? You buy it by the gallon. When you go to the grocery store, PA, how do you buy bread? What's the unit of measurement that you buy bread by?
The loaf, yeah.
By the loaf of the ounce. And what you do is find the right price with the right quality. Insurance is the same way, PA. You buy insurance, what's called the cost per thousand. I want your people to write this down. Cost per thousand. I'm going to give you a quick 30-second scenario how this works. I'm a 50-year-old man. I have $1 million policy. My policy, I pay $60 a month for it, okay? $60 times 12 is $720 a year. So I take the $720 a year, and since it's $1 million, the $1,000 I divide into $1 million is 100 units, okay? So I take that 100 units and divide it into 720, and that tells me I pay 72 cents per thousand. That's the cost per thousand. So when everything's equal, PA, on how you buy insurance based on your age, your income, your health, and your credit score, then the one that sets it over the top is tell me what the cost per thousand. 98% of the insurance agents that you talk to will have no idea what you're talking about. I meet people who 9 out of 10 times, half my age, they're paying $5 per thousand, $6 per thousand. People in my age group paying $12 per thousand. But when you break down the cost per thousand, you can literally save hundreds of thousands of dollars over years because you know how to buy it the proper way. And I teach that in the live training that I do. I also teach them how to pay down their mortgage, as you said, in 7 years, because I used to own a mortgage banker business. So I can actually teach your people how to take the savings from their home, auto, and life and put that towards their mortgage and do bi-monthly payments, but also do pay downs just like a home equity line of credit and pay simple interest versus compounded interest and pay their house off in 7 to 10 years. Just that fact. That's what actually led me to getting contracts with Chase, with the churches, the credit unions, because I wiped the floor with the competition because they didn't know the principles or the techniques. And I did it for myself, and I showed them how to do it for them.
DJ the Mighty Coach, just talk about Damon Dash. You're kicking off a tour next week in the Houston, Texas college tour. Why is this tour important, and what are your goals?
Man, here it is. It's called the Go Entrepreneur Tour for a reason. We need to highlight successful Black entrepreneurs who have sustained generational wealth, and they've been consistently successful for at least 2 to 3 decades. So we're going to the business school at Rice University, which is the #1 STEM private college in the state of Texas, and it's considered to be the Harvard of the Southwest. So we're going to bring 5 successful entrepreneurs with Damon Dash as the feature. We're using Damon Dash as the feature because he's very recognizable to the millennials and the young people. And he's actually a businessman before he was anything else. And he had the advantage point to help launch Jay-Z, launch, Kanye. He even launched Kevin Hart. So he's done 3 different successful multi-million, people that have built billion-dollar businesses. Who else will be better to tell his story? He also just directed a movie called The Prince of Detroit, highlighting a brother and a sister who actually built $100+ million healthcare business. We don't promote that in our community. So what we're going to do on September 23rd, we're going to have Dame tell that story. Then we're going to bring 3 other highly successful Black entrepreneurs who are best in class in the world. So the young lady here, Jacqueline Beauchamp, she's the only Black video game developer that has a license agreement with Microsoft. She has a Hall of Fame football video game with Doug Williams on it that highlights the Battle of the Bands of the HBCUs, and her video game is in the Hall of Fame. She's also now doing a $25 million AI virtual reality museum that will be completed in 3 years. Our young daughters, our young girls need to see her. She's got 25 years in the game. That's the reason. Then we're going to bring another technology that actually is going to replace the power of YouTube, created by 2 Black engineers out of Dayton, Ohio, that actually will teach people how to actually buy products and services live and have it drop to your door within 24 hours, no matter what broadcast you watch it on. And this is what this is about. So this is actually to give the universities oral history and create a curriculum that they can start teaching in the B schools. And we're doing it with the PWIs in partnership with the HBCUs. So the first leg is September 23rd, Rice Business School Auditorium. The second leg is at Morris Brown. It's going to be the 3rd week of October. The third leg is going to be at Florida Memorial and Miami Gardens. And then it's going to all lead to Zanzibar for the grand opening of our 220 unit luxury residential resort with a fintech conference on top of it, my brother.
Is there an Eventbrite for the event at Rice University?
Yes, there is. But here's the thing, Tahir, let me explain this to you. And this is always an education thing. Eventbrite is just a processor. What you should be concerned about, does MasterCard, Visa, and Discover get processed on it like Stripe? We use Stripe. We use PayPal. We do have an Eventbrite, but our number one processing relationship is with Stripe. So as long as your credit card is processed, I literally just had somebody try to make a negative purchase by stealing my credit card off of a legitimate website, but because the credit card is, covered, I had to pay nothing. Okay, so we want to keep our money in-house. We do have an Eventbrite link, but our number one link is our processing relationship with PayPal and Stripe first, because I have a better relationship with them. Love Eventbrite, but Eventbrite don't put no money in my pocket.
You get money back from other folks. I got you.
There you go. And you know how that works, PA.
How many colleges are you guys going to be visiting?
For the first tour is just four colleges. So
Okay.
It's going to be Rice University. We're going to have Prairie View and Texas Southern, which is going to be our guests, which are right down the street from Rice. And the reason why we use Rice, because it is the premier college for technology, so that all people come there. And since it's a multi-million-dollar brand new auditorium, it gives the prestige that we need to honor these successful entrepreneurs and raise the level of professionalism with the young Blacks, kids that are going to come and get this information. And the key thing about our tour is that we're going to give you access and execution. We're not going to be talking a whole bunch of, fluff. We're not going to try to give you inspirational stuff. If you got a product, a service, or a thought, and you want to get in business, we're going to give you access and execution. Let me explain what I mean by that. We just recently connected with Microsoft on a sliver because we had our ducks in a row. So I met the top Microsoft executive for the whole Eastern Seaboard named Danielle Estrada literally 6 weeks ago at a conference. At that conference, she stood on stage, PA, she said, hey, we got like 600 brothers and sisters, professionals, make a lot of money here, but Microsoft only does business with less than 1% of Black professionals. And she said, you know why that is? Because we don't have our ducks in a row. And they said, what do you mean? You can make $1 million, but a lot of times you're just a one-man operation. So Microsoft has very stringent requirements to do business with them. She stood up on stage. She gave us her corporate phone number and said, hey, if you got your ducks in a row, come talk to me right now. And if you are the real deal, I'm going to do business with you and I'm going to advocate you. I talked to her PA, showed her what we're doing in Zanzibar. They got excited. She turned right around and asked me to come to an event they planned for 12 months with only the top 15 Black Microsoft partners and vendors in the whole country.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Access, execution. My mentor, George Fraser, gave me access to Danielle, but I had my ducks in a row and I'm able to execute a program with her. Right now, we're working on a almost 7-figure deal with her off a sliver. What are you going to get at the Go Entrepreneur as a young professional or a successful one? I'm going to give you access to get execution and teach you how to do it.
Wow, DJ. Okay, we got to wrap up, but I think I pulled up a video you posted, the Africa They Don't Show You. I want to run some of that video and you talk about what's going on, and I think I got it queued up here. You know how this thing go. We on the fly, producing on the fly. So let me pull this screen up. Here we go. Explain what's happening here, man.
So this is our last trip in Zanzibar to show people how beautiful Zanzibar are and how you can easily come in and make a life second to none, man. I mean, to me, Zanzibar, Tanzania is the last frontier on the planet. and you know this, PA, because you've been there longer than I have. And we just need to explain and educate our people on what the opportunity is for them and why they should go back to the motherland. Because Africa is for Africans with Black Americans supporting them in an interdependent relationship, side by side.
Where were you at when you shot this video? What part of Zanzibar? Is it near
That
your
was
property?
in I think that was Nwingi. Man, I'm gonna hack it up. Nungwi. I'm sorry, Nungwi. That was in Nungwi, and then we shot like 6 different beaches. We went to Kenra Rocks. We went to what was the other one called? Man, it's so hard for me to pronounce the names, but we went to the north part.
I guess one day I gotta learn Swahili. You know?
I've been taking it. So what we did here, we did a shot of about 5 or 6 different beaches that we were on. We highlighted the actual owners of little shops and stuff and gave them, you know, the shine that they deserve to have. And these people love us coming there doing business with them. When they find out that we are trying to support them, man, they are so happy and so grateful to have opportunities for us to do business side by side. We got to work with our people, man. And that's why I was so happy to meet you and know that you were doing safaris. I was like, man, that's a natural connection for us.
That's right. And this video is so beautiful, man. It's like it is. You can't get enough of it. It's captivating and it's peaceful. It's us. It's ours. Amazing. Yep. Thank you for your time, DJ. I know you're live tonight. What, 7:30? You live tonight?
Yeah, we're live with Dame Dash. So if y'all want to check us out, they can go to DJ the Money Coach on YouTube, and you can see me interview Dame Dash live talking about the Go Entrepreneur Tour that's kicking off September 23rd at Rice University in Houston. And I have, for your people that are watching this, if we struck any chord of interest that they want help or they want to get to the next level, we have a special for your people that I'll do a live training for anybody that calls us or contacts us on the website or directly through YouTube. We're going to do a live training for your group where I'll give them a complimentary consultation. I'll do a financial analytical report for them, and I'll link them into our 7 spheres of money professionals to help get them on the pathway to paying off their home, consumer debt free, and buy assets through a system. It'll be a live training, and it's less than a couple of $100, and it's satisfaction guaranteed, PA. And
for our radio listeners, if they want to invest with you in Zanzibar, how can they get in contact with you?
They should call me at 866-395-3042, 866-395-3042, or they should email me at Nick, N-I-C-K, at DJ the Money Coach, Nick, N-I-C-K, at DJ the Money Coach, and say, I heard you on Jams with PA. I'm interested in Zanzibar, and we'll immediately get in touch with you, because here's the reality. The projects that we're completing now, they're actually closing rapidly because the grand opening is January 12th of 2024. But we do have a couple of opportunities still on the boards with the new project and the duplexes that we're building as we speak right now.
All right. Thank you, DJ, man. Appreciate your friendship, brother. Thanks for your time. Definitely have you back in a few weeks to talk a little bit more about this credit repair and all that as we get ready for 2024, man.
Man, PA, thank you very much for having me on Jams with PA. It's a privilege and an honor, and God bless. And I'll just hope people have health, and we wish them a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And we'll see you on the beaches of World Club, Zanzibar.
Peace and blessings, brother. Talk to you later.